Sharing, go away. Okay, well, welcome to the first Emergency Medical Service Club meeting. This is our logo, and as you can see, it's been all properly changed to our very brand new logo name that we have for the school because apparently, we're not South Dakota School of Mines and Technology anymore, but, all of our emails still say that, but, it's fine. So this is Meet the Officers. So my name is Kate Dickinson. I'm a graduate student for the biomedical engineering, and I'm president. My vice president is Janae Hahn. She's also biomedical engineering. Our secretary is Summer Scott. She's, I believe, mechanical engineering. And then Cade Nathan, he's also in pre-health sciences, and he's our treasurer. Taylor Bright, she's also a graduate student in biomedical engineering from public relations, and our advisor is Dr. John Camaro. You probably have met her if you're pre-health, so she's very nice. So pretty much the club is nationally recognized with the National Collegiate EMS Foundation, and as you can see, all these little red dots are where we have formal organizations at different colleges. So you can see in South Dakota there's none, but that's not true anymore because we're the first one in South Dakota, so yay, that's super cool. And pretty much what all the colleges do over at these other, EMS groups do at these other colleges range from just providing basic CPR and AED to kind of still on their observing stages to actually being able to fully provide medical service on campus. So that's pretty nifty thing to do, and that's ideally where I really hope that the club will take us. Of course, since I am going to graduate soon, I really won't be here, so it kind of comes down to everybody who's in the club where you guys all take it. But I think with it being so much in the grassroots stage, and with so many pre-medical students I know who are in this club, that this can really speak volumes to what you could write in your personal statement or your secondaries, and even just if you go in for a job interview, because really what you're doing is you're helping to increase the safety both on campus and then also within our community. I know that over at CU Boulder, their EMS club is actually, they moved away now from the school because they got big enough. They're actually starting to provide their EMS services to like the Boulder community. So I think that's really cool. So there's a lot of places in which our club can go, and I really look forward to seeing what happens in the next coming years. So pretty much how you become an EMT, as Michael is finding out, since he's currently one of the people who's registered into the Western Dakota Tech Emergency Medical Service class, is step 1, get your CPR and AED certification, which it kind of depends on how it goes. This are the steps that I went through in Colorado, but I know that how the class is structured here, some of these are kind of merged into one, such as step 1 and 2 and 3. But at at Western Dakota Tech, what they do is, merge all of these reads. Anyway, so step 1, get your CPR AED certification. That's pretty much, CPR, AED, how you do the little electronic pulse thing that we all find around in buildings. Step 2 is get your BLS certification. It's basic life support. That's pretty much what all healthcare providers will have at minimum, every single EMT, firefighter, I believe also police maybe, but also doctors, nurses, everybody. So, and pretty much the difference between CPR, AED, and the BLS is that you learn how to use those little kind of puffer intubation, not intubation, but little puffer tubes that help to breathe in someone's, breathe in air and oxygen into people's lungs. I'm sure you've seen them. I, for life of me, can't remember the name it is for now. Step 3 is your EMT class, and during that you'll do step 4, which is you'll gain your clinical hours. So that's pretty much, I think it varies state to state, but to my understanding, it's pretty much 8 hours it's 10 hours on an ambulance, and then I believe also an additional 10 hours in the emergency room, because as you know, EMTs work both in the ambulance and also in the emergency room. So I think that's kind of nifty. I didn't know that until I actually got into the class. The next part is once you finish the class, you need to pass your clinical and your written test by the NREMT, which is the National Registry of EMT. That is super fun. Clinical is pretty much where they'll give you like real life scenarios and you'll have to show all of your basic skills. You have 3 set scenarios that, or no, you have 2 set scenarios, which is pretty much like being able to do CPR, oxygen, and such and stuff like that. And then you'll have 2 other random scenarios where they'll give you situations such as if you have a patient who's going into like diabetic ketoacidosis or having some sort of major injury. And oftentimes I think, like, of course it depends class to class how they orient it, but you have to pass all the clinical skills that you'll learn in your EMT class, and that's how they'll do it through the skills. Sorry if that makes sense. Step 6, not with a capital T, is that you certify yourself in the state that you want to work in. So obviously South Dakota, you'd certify here, and then Colorado and such like that. So I believe your EMT certification lasts about 2 years. So yeah. So what is our role at the school then right now? Since we are still in our grassroots stages, we're currently just trying to get people to consistently be able to go get their courses over at Western Dakota Tech. And the teacher actually teaching the EMT class is a Mines alumni. Her name is Mary, and she was a physics major here. And also she was telling me about another instructor who comes in and collaborates with her was a former student from the chemical engineering department. So that's pretty nifty. And I think where I hope that we move is that once we start getting consistent EMT class and we can start working with administration. I've already been talking a lot with Doug Perot, who's our campus safety, and he's very much all for having us help take over some of the medical things so that campus security, because right now they're the ones who are pretty much always called for everything, you know, has such a wide spread of responsibilities that having someone who's EMS certified and having people start to take over some of the medical situations on campus would just be helpful, and it would be nice to have some of that more specialization, because currently where we have, if I remember correctly, was around 37 accidents per year, which I mean doesn't sound like a lot per year, but that's about 1 per week here at the school, since we had about 15 to 16 weeks in every single semester. So that's actually, like, not that you'll twiddle your thumbs all the time if you do that, but So as I said before, we're partnering with Western Dakota Tech to do our classes. And so we currently have a class going, which is Tuesday, Thursdays from 5:30 to 10 p.m. And it's about $1,400. And in that class, they're combining both your BLS certification into the course. So that's really nice, because when I took my EMT course, I actually had to pay for also the BLS certification on top of mine. So that's kind of nice that they grouped it all together, because it was pretty tedious having to go through a bunch of different hoops to get to the EMT course. It costs roughly around $1,400, which I know sounds really expensive, but that's actually a really, really good cost for an EMT course. So for people who want to take that in the future, you can just start to consider that and start budgeting maybe a little bit for that. My EMT course was about $2,200, and that wasn't even including all of the BLS and CPR certifications I had to get on top of that. So that's kind of a nice thing. I'm hoping that we'll get some more classes next spring for everyone to take, because I know that the one happening that this fall was really last minute and had a really fast turnaround. So I'm hoping that we can kind of keep our relationship more functional with Western Dakota Tech, so that we know more in advance when classes will be. And I'm trying this semester to really focus on the funding portion of it, because I would very much like everybody to be able to to get over, for you guys all to not to have to pay so much money with the course, because obviously not all of us have 1,400 grand to drop, and sorry, 1,400, that's different, $1,400 to drop on a class. And as Michael just pointed out in the chat, that the course was a little over $2,000 with the textbook. So that's a lot of money. And my hope is that you can get fully funded so that you don't have to do that, because obviously you are here for other things and you're already paying a lot for college, and it's like not fun to have to pay for more.
Hey, Kate, should we assume that next semester it's the same time for a class?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, assume it's gonna be the same time. I don't know if it'll change from Monday to Wednesday or Tuesday to Thursday. I'm gonna really try to keep up with Mary about it. Sometimes
Okay.
things kind of
Does Does it go the full like 15 weeks of a semester?
I believe so. Michael, do you have more information about, I guess, the length of the program? I thought it went the entire semester.
So on the syllabus, she has like the comprehensive exam is listed for December 17th. So I think that is the full length.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that'd basically be the full length. Okay.
that's what I thought. Um, so yeah, it'll probably be all next spring semester. I guess it'll kind of be kind of tricky because we don't really know how the spring semester will also play out, in the sense that I don't know when we'll be coming back, if they're going to try to do like a condensed semester again or what. So I'll try to really keep up with them on that and keep our response going. So anyway, on the note of fundraising, because obviously $2,000 is a lot, we have two Pancheros fundraisers, one on October 21st and one on November 4th. You should definitely send people there because Pancheros is one of the best fundraising events that we've ever done, ever, mostly because they like literally save that entire 4-hour block for anyone who comes in, and you don't have to have a flyer, and everyone who pays during that 4-hour block automatically has their proceeds come to us with that percentage, so that's super nice. So like highly hope you just get out the word that that's a thing. I tried to get more over the summer because I knew that what we were going to try to do this fall, and then Pancheros just let them all expire, which is why we didn't have any over the summer and why we don't have any up until the 21st. I will continue trying to request them. I think also Janae Han, who's our vice president, as I said before, thought that we could also do some stuff like selling t-shirts for the EMS club. So probably look more into that. I'm working right now with foundations to make a crowdsource account. They just sent me a website of this really nice one they did for the COVID relief fund for students, and they had like a goal of 250K and they raised, I think, around 368K. So that would be super sweet if we raised a bunch of money from crowdsourcing from various alumni. So I'm working through that. I'm also trying to make a GoFundMe. Unfortunately, GoFundMe takes like around 30% off of every dollar that is donated. And then they also take another like 2.9%, I believe, on top of all the money we raise once we take it out. So yeah, that kind of stinks. But you know what? The more fundraising ideas, the better. I don't know. Do you guys have any ideas on what sort of fundraising things you'd like to see?
I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
So what is crowdsource?
Crowdsource is essentially a GoFundMe, but put together by the school. And you don't have to pay to take out money.
Okay.
So it's just a fundraising platform. I guess what they do is they send it out mostly to alumni, I think. And then they all donate. I can show you if you would like, if I can make this a little less terrible. Oh my goodness. Just. It was, no, it was crowdsource. So I'm starting to work on all of that for the crowdsourcing, but the unfortunate part is we don't have any pictures because we literally got approved like last fall, and then the pandemic happened and we weren't here. So I'm working on that part. I was really hoping that we could all get a photo together, but I don't really see how it's possible because we'll be in very close proximity and trying to stay safe. So yeah, but this is crowdsourced, if that answers your question. As you can see, they raised 322K out of the 250 goal. That was pretty much their spiel. So it looks really slick. And that's pretty much what people donated, which was quite a bit. And I'm pretty sure that when you donate, you get tax reductions or exemptions, from it. So hopefully that might be another way in which we can kind of persuade people. I was also going to start reaching out to some more of of people from the community like Monument Health and the Rapid Safe Fire Department and see if maybe they would like also be willing to donate stuff to us or money and like go more locally, since part of the whole thing of being EMS is the fact that we help support the local community. But yeah, any more questions? I will assume the silence is no. But do you guys have ideas about, I guess, what to do for fundraisers? I would obviously, the more fundraising we do, the less you have to pay. So the more we all work together on that, the better off we are. Do you guys have ideas? Well, if you have ideas later, you can always email them to me. So some thoughts I have for the semester. This is a book, as I showed earlier. I was trying to think of what we could do this fall. We were gonna have a wildlife wilderness medicine hike, and then I was working with the paramedic instructor from Western Dakota Tech on doing that, and you'd actually we'd be able to do it in about 7 hours, so it's a bridged version of the full course and get your wilderness wildlife certification. And that's what we were going to do for the adventure weekend originally, and then that got canceled. So unfortunately, that kind of fell through. And I guess the paramedic director now no longer works there, who I was working with. But some other ideas I have for this semester, because I really like us to be productive, I was thinking we could do stuff like maybe talk about some medical ethics. We could do Spanish in healthcare. Obviously, knowing another language is just always useful for trying to communicate with people of different cultures. We could talk about medical policy that's currently affecting us right now, and like, I guess, what your roles as healthcare providers can do, because I think sometimes you can be the strongest advocates, especially in emergency medicine. You really get to see some difference in the health disparities. We could also do stuff like basic anatomy and teach that throughout the semester, so that maybe when we all go take the EMT course, it's a little less of a, I guess, falling off a cliff, for lack of a better term, because you'll have like already a previous introduction to it. And the other part is we could always do basic lessons from my EMS textbook. I do have all the things that I learned and how I learned them, and I totally would be happy to try to set this stuff up together to do either maybe like every other week or something like that. I also was thinking we could ask speakers to come in from like more the EMS world and discuss more some of their perspectives and their roles, and especially how everything's changing throughout this pandemic. So
Also, Kate, if I can add something to that, we have a student who he was in the military before coming to Mines. He was a military medic, I believe is the term. That's probably not the right term, but I was talking to him and he said he'd be willing to come and like teach us some things if we want. So that's always an option as well.
is that the
It's a Tori.
Tori? Yeah, Tori. Okay, I would super obviously appreciate that. I think I remember talking with him last spring about it, so I definitely would love for him to come in, but I figure we can do things mostly over Zoom. I just want to make sure that, like, obviously us meeting is productive for all you guys, because I'm sure everyone's busy, especially with like school being kind of funky right now. So I just want to make sure that like I'm not wasting your guys' time, because that's the one thing I hate. Do you guys all seem pretty good with that? I can make a schedule. I was thinking more doing Spanish and healthcare next spring, and we could do more things like medical ethics, medical policy, and then have speakers. Does that sound like something you guys would be interested in and would attend?
I would.
Yep, I would attend.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, bring your friends. Sounds great. Okay, then I can definitely work on start doing that. I think this will be a really fun semester. I'm like really looking forward to it. And you can follow us because now we have a Facebook and Instagram page. And we're the cool cats and are like online now. So really moving up in the world, as you can see. So yeah, and that's pretty much the end of the meeting. Do you guys have any questions, thoughts, concerns, anything?
When are we planning on meeting next? Do you know?
Well, I was gonna ask people when we were in the meeting, did we want to do bi-weekly meetings or weekly? I can do either or. I know that.
You might have to send out another poll or something, because it seemed like no one showed up to this meeting who said they would. So
Yeah, I know. I think I will send out another when is good poll. So, see,
Kate, do you know you said how you have to have the hours to be EMT certified?
mhm.
Does the class like take care of those hours? Do they have a partnership with like Monument Health and Rapid City Fire and stuff to get those hours done, or do we have to schedule those on our own?
It was from my understanding when I talked to Mary that she said that she did have them pre-scheduled. I know she talked about if you are like thinking about going in a direction that's like, let's say not medical school, but like paramedic school, that she had a lot of connections down south. I think she said in Louisiana, which was very interesting that she said that. But I think that from my understanding when we talked, that it was built into the program. Michael, you might have a clear answer since you're actually taking the class, and maybe she clarified.
She did talk a little bit how under normal circumstances we get to do like ride-alongs with the ambulance and stuff, but due to COVID, she's not really sure where this is going to go right now.
Okay.
Okay.
And then when you graduate from this course, is it just an EMT basic certification that you have, or what is it exactly?
It should be EMT basic. There's not really an EMT advanced, I'm pretty sure. That's just paramedic.
I think there is an advanced EMT and then there's paramedics, so there's 4 levels, but we're just going to be EMTs.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I know one thing that you'll have to do after you get your EMT certification is you also need to go get your IV license. But from what I've seen in South Dakota, that's like pretty simple based on the fact that it looks like it's an online class.
So like when you say IV license, you mean like put an IV in?
Yeah, so a lot of things with EMS is you'll actually like at least maybe not in South Dakota because I think the medical rules are kind of different, you know, obviously between states. But I know that in Colorado, if you want to work anywhere, you have to get your IV certification. So yeah, putting the IVs in, being able to like inject like some basic drugs, get to practice on each other, and then practice at a hospital.
So from what she was talking about, like in the class, that's like more the job of like the advanced EMT, but we're like the step right below that where we can just transport, but we can't like do IVs or give drugs.
Okay, I think that's a little different here because I know that in Colorado when I was getting mine from Denver Health, there was no such thing as an advanced EMT like course. It was you became an advanced EMT based on other certifications you brought in, but not like a course. You know what I mean? I think it's just different here.
Yeah. I don't know if there is a course for it. I guess we haven't really talked about like how to become an advanced EMT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I hope you're enjoying the course. I mean, she seems really nice. So, and like very enthusiastic.
Yeah, she's a little goofy. She's interesting.
Okay. Well, I will definitely be working on it. If you'd like to help me with fundraising, I would greatly appreciate that. Any 3 of you, because of course it just benefits everybody in the club if we all fundraise together and figure out ideas. So yeah. Anyway, end of the meeting. That's all. Thank you for coming. I'll send out another poll.